Good afternoon. Buyers are losing it again. Their chances of bringing this back today are getting slimmer as the day goes on. They were at the high of the day. They came out of the blocks after a gap down. You can see the 5-minute chart, the bullish wide range bar. And I'll point out that little correction bar right there into the gap fill. That's not what you want to see if you were looking to short into the gap fill. But as a general concept, shorting a retracement even to resistance that begins with a bullish wide range bar has lower odds. What's interesting is that the strength of this move, while coming to the top of the trading range, which you can see here on the 65-minute, the 65 had a bullish wide range bar. What's supposed to happen, right, if bulls are going to maintain control, is that it goes sideways up here, not come deep and close deeply into the bullish wide range bar. Doesn't matter if it's a 65-minute chart or a daily chart. Now, that concept relates to on a closing basis. So this bar did close deep into it, I'd say about halfway. But from a daily chart perspective, we don't want to see it close this way. There's another rejection up there. It's just going sideways. But, it's about 1:45 as I'm doing this. And there is still the possibility, a slimmer one, that this can regain its footing and get back above yesterday's close, which is that dotted red line right there, and not leave the daily with a topping tail. So if it has a topping tail, if it closes red under the opening price, which is the blue line right there, clearly it's more bearish and opens up the possibility of moving down and breaking through the bottom of this base. At this time, it's just marking time, back and forth, and the question is whether it breaks below the base, whether it comes back up tomorrow and can get through the top of the base, and maybe then test the 200-day moving average. Still in a downtrend. It stabilized. We got the close above a prior bar's high, and so far it hasn't been able to do anything. It is what it is. Look at the S&Ps. Similarly, rejection, break under yesterday's close, and some buyers stepping in a little bit above the opening price. So looking for a little bit of a positive there as to where they're stepping in prior to reaching a support. It's still in a downtrend on the 5-minute. On the 65-minute, it's just sideways. And, for now, it's just going nowhere. So we look at other markets to see, are there relative strength, relative weakness? Is there any reason to think that prices might move one way or the other? So we look at the Dow. Similar price action. Moved up off of the low, rejection. So far, rejection. The day isn't over. We'll see. Transports don't look too good. Rejection has not been able to get above a prior bar's high. It did there on that up day, but, news aside, Fed aside, sellers continue to take control even after quite impressive rallies that happen in the morning. So, look, as a swing trader, what happens on the intraday charts, I'm not going to say it's irrelevant, but probably best not to look at it. It could influence your decision making. What happens on the daily chart is what's important. So where does this close? If it closes like this, it's just marking time sideways. But the longer it goes sideways after moving down as far as it has, the more buyers are going to become impatient and they're going to throw in the towel. And then from there, does it make a W? Does it break below the low? Does it break significantly below the low? All of that is unknown, and we to see what happened. Right now, what we do know is that prices have moved down a relatively large amount, have gotten extended, and they can't go up. And that's not positive. It's neutral, but it's not positive, and for the moment, it's not negative. Regional banks have moved up toward resistance, converging 20 and 200. Minor resistance. They can't get through it. They haven't broken a prior day's low yet or closed below it since the move up began. Semiconductors, sideways, a little bit of resistance there, getting rejected, has not closed below a prior bar's low yet. IWM, moving into resistance, another rejection today. We'll see if this goes down to test the lows, where it goes. We're just waiting here. Financials, relative strength, but coming up to a resistance area. They have not been able to pull the S&Ps up a significant amount because tech is doing terribly again. It can't get going. In addition, we could look at other things, but you're getting the picture here. Nothing is up significantly on the day, and nothing is down significantly on the day. When we go and look at the Magnificent Seven and some others, which we did this morning pre-market, Amazon is being rejected. It was a wider bar. Netflix, inside day, being rejected. Meta was a wide range bar day being rejected. Maybe it could come back. Apple looks like it's going to go lower. Tesla not doing anything. Google not doing anything. Microsoft, same story, not doing anything. And Nvidia not doing anything. We could look at 5-minute charts, see any possible signs of recovery. A little bit. Amazon, breakdown and retracement. It would have to go sideways. Then we could see if it was to break above here. Maybe we get a little rally going. Meta was the strongest. It's slowly eroding. And it needs to get it together here pretty soon. Otherwise, probably sellers are going to give it up. Netflix, a rejection at that pivot. Not a big deal for the moment. Tesla, grind into resistance. Apple, nothing. Google, sideways here. So there isn't much interest. There was buying the gap down, a technical situation, a gap down, and buyer stepped in, and little to no confidence because it's given it all back. Common sense. What happens, what's supposed to happen after that is it was supposed to go sideways. And so if we look at the 65-minute here, and same thing, trading range, wide range bar. It needs to get it going now. Right? Ideally, it would have went sideways. Bullish price action at resistance. Didn't happen. Meta, better, but it needs to get things turned around, and so on. So the same analysis, the foundational analysis, is applied in all time frames, and the ideal or art of it is to be able to put together what's happening in multiple time frames for a high probability situation. Right now, we don't have a high probability situation based on multiple time frames. So sit on the sidelines, do your day trades, do your credit spread trades, and we'll see what develops day by day. If you have questions, email us, Greg and Dan at Master Trader.